Hello Kakuchopurei players, my name is Lewis Larcombe and welcome to what can only be described as an annual series at this point, which is my Thailand Game Show recap. But first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. My hair, my barber, messed up, and I hate it, I mean, it'll grow back anyway, so not the end of the world, but I know it's bad. Anyways, before we actually dive into talking about Thailand Game Show, let me first give a massive thank you to Sega for flying me out here. And if you've been paying attention to Kakuchopurei's social media, then you'll probably know that Sega didn't just fly me out just because of Thailand Game Show. No, the flight itself was also something I needed to cover. Oh, but Lewis, Kakuchopurei only covers gaming and pop culture news. What would you have to write about an airplane? Well, if you didn't know, Sega joined forces with AirAsia to come up with what can only be described as a supersonic collaboration. You see, AirAsia's flight D7170 had a makeover. You don't have to believe me, the B-roll will just do the talking itself. This Airbus A330 was beautifully painted into the colourful world of Sonic's Green Hill Zone. The exterior boasted vibrant artwork of Sonic and his friends racing against the aircraft's fuelage, while the interior continued the theme with Sonic stickers covering the seat back tables, overhead compartments, and even the bathroom mirrors. They really did not miss a single detail. Each corner of the plane was draped in Sonic's world, and to top off the atmosphere, Sonic's classic theme played both before takeoff and landing. I thought was a really nice touch. As someone who grew up playing Sonic, to see the franchise come to life in another way other than a movie was surreal, and I hope that some of you watching this may get the chance to ride the aircraft soon, because, well, it's already in operation. The flight covers major cities across Southeast Asia and the Asia Pacific, including destinations like Bangkok, Tokyo, Seoul, Taipei, and Sydney. And if you're looking forward to even more themed flights, AirAsia's Persona 5 themed aircraft is set to take off this November. So thank you again, Sega, for this amazing opportunity. I absolutely love coming to Thailand, and at this point, it's becoming a yearly ritual. Speaking of which, let's talk about Thailand Game Show. Now, when I originally planned on making this video, there was going to be a disclaimer saying that I was going to be mainly focusing on Sega because, well, they're the whole reason why I'm here. I don't need to make that disclaimer because, well, this year's Thailand Game Show just isn't as big as last year's. I don't mean literally, I just mean there's not as many big names this year. Compared to previous years, I'm more used to seeing Sega go toe-to-toe with like Bandai Namco, but they seem to be absent from this year's Thailand Game Show, which means that there's only really two other competitors who are Hoyoverse, and then there's Riot Games who are promoting Golden Spatula, which is their kind of new game. It's essentially mobile exclusive TFT, but it was originally only exclusive in China, but now it's coming to Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. So yeah, not really much going on at Thailand Game Show this year. That's not to say I'm disappointed, quite the opposite in fact, because Sega as usual have games to playtest. So let's talk about them. There's Metaphor ReFantazio, which came out last week. I'll refrain from talking about it because we actually have a review out already, so if you really want to know our in-depth thoughts about it, then you can check out our review over on our website. There's obviously Sonic X Generations.
Yeah, I was really tired when I recorded this, so I'm pretty sure I refer to Sonic X Shadow Generations as just Sonic X Generations. So I apologize, I was just extremely tired. And back to the video.
Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Why that name? They're becoming more and more like light novels. It's getting a bit hard to remember the names. Then there's Sonic Rumble, but the main ones I'm going to be talking about are Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, I almost forgot the name, and Sonic X Generations. Let's talk about Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Like any recent Like a Dragon spin-off, it's weird. A bit weird. Like, yeah, it makes sense, given that, like, Goro Majima has an eye patch, and pirates are kind of the gangsters of the sea, so if anything, it's about time that they made a game like this. But it doesn't change the fact that the game's still a bit just weird in narrative. That's not to say it's bad, it's very much a Like a Dragon game. I just struggle to see how I will ever get really invested into the story, which I'm sure that's not their main objective. They're probably just making a game just for the fun of it, which, hey, cool, I guess. That kind of sounded a bit sarcastic. I actually do mean it's quite cool because I played it and it is quite fun. I managed to play the go-kart mode, which is a lot harder than it looks. You kind of go into it expecting it's gonna play like Mario Kart. It really doesn't. The handling is just really weird, and I'm pretty sure I misread one of the instructions. They said that pressing X would drift the kart, but all it did was make the kart jump. So every time I was just trying to corner, I would just end up hopping up and then just slowing down, essentially, because essentially you lose momentum really fast in the go-kart mode, which did become really annoying, especially if you miss one of the boosts. It really punishes you if you miss a boost, but they do kind of make up for it by having like machine guns and RPGs and whatnot to kind of spice up the race. So yeah, that was fun. I also got to try out the delivery mode. Essentially, Majima gets a part-time job as a delivery guy. Then you just kind of traverse the city, kind of like how Sonic picks up rings. You pick up burgers, pizzas, or what I think is a plate of sushi. It could be kebabs. And then there's multiple people around the city that you can kind of just optionally deliver to. Essentially, you just kind of go into their interactive radius and then kind of break, and then you kind of deliver however many burgers or however many pizzas. And I found it extremely reminiscent of the pizza delivery mode in Spider-Man 2, the PS2 version. Essentially, you know, delivering pizzas, racing against the clock, but imagine that combined with something like a Tony Hawk mission, whereby you're, you know, collecting whatever coins, rings, whatever, while doing tricks, and by doing tricks, you can also gain multipliers. Or in this case, you don't gain multipliers, but you just kind of earn bonus cash by doing sick tricks. So yeah, that game mode was quite fun. If you like a Dragon games, then you're probably gonna like this one. Because yeah, I don't know, because my only real experience with like the Like a Dragon series is Like a Dragon Ishin, which is quite a bit more serious. So going from that to this is quite a drastic jump. Speaking of jumping, let's jump on over to Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now, this is a game that kind of gave me a little bit of anxiety to try and play, because the last time I was here, or it would have been 2 years ago now actually, I got to play Sonic Frontier, and boy, for some reason, I found that game incredibly hard. Yes, at that point, it had been about 10 years since I played a Sonic game, so understandably, I was a bit rusty. But since 2 years ago, I still haven't touched a Sonic game, so I kind of thought I was going to run into that same problem again. Turns out, I was worrying for no reason. I just found it so much easier, and you can just tell that this game is catered to newcomers a lot more than Sonic Frontiers is. There's just a lot more assistive movement, in a sense, or it feels like the movement is a lot more in your control, and it doesn't feel as super duper fast paced as like Sonic Frontier could get, at least in the playtest. So yeah, I got to play 2 levels. The first one I believe was called the Star Colony arc, I think. That one you just play Shadow, you kind of just get introduced to his kit, and I'm pretty sure the majority of the levels as well are Shadow based. Yeah, I think there's only one level in the playtest where you play Sonic, and I think that might be a Green Hill Zone. But yeah, I just didn't have enough time to try that one. The second level I got to play was a level called Biolizard, which is a weird one. It's a boss fight, and it's weird. The boss doesn't really look like it belongs in Sonic. It looks like something from another game. Like, it looks like it could be like an Elden Ring boss for all I know. But yeah, I kind of struggled with that one. It took me a bit of time to whittle down that boss's health bar. And I think I was just extremely confused throughout most of it, because I was trying to figure out how this would fit into a narrative. And then I think by the time I'd almost beaten the boss, my time ran out. But yeah, Sonic X Shadow Generations looks to be pretty damn promising. I think that massive Sonic fans are going to absolutely love this game, but we'll never really know until it comes out. But I do kind of have high hopes for this game. The only real thing I have to add to Sonic X Shadow Generations is the graphics. The graphics look absolutely phenomenal. Like, Sonic Frontier was really good looking, but there was a level of like realism to it in the landscape that I kind of found unimmersive, ironically. But the actual character designs look amazing in this game. Like, Shadow has always been my favorite character in the Sonic franchise, and he has never looked so good. So yeah, if you're a sucker for graphics, I think you'd definitely like this. All in all though, Sega absolutely killed it with the booth as well. Every year they always go with just one massive balloon figure of one of their characters. You can just see it from across the venue, and it just kind of takes up most of like the visual scape of like the tops of all the booths and everything. That's really it. This video is mainly just kind of dedicated to Sega, because they are the ones that flew me out here. So again, thank you ever so much, Sega. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, anyways, this is a bit of a different one this year. I'm definitely more used to having a colleague with me, whether it be John or Zandria. But this time it's just me, myself, with a camera, which means I don't really have anyone to kind of stop me from rambling. And to kind of not stray off topic, which I've done countless times, but you will never know because I would have edited out. Movie magic. But before I go, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to like, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this, and obviously ding dong that notification bell to be notified when we upload next, because we upload videos every single week. Thank you all for Lewis. I'm so tired. Thank you all for watching. My name's been Lewis or Lickety from Kakuchopurei, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao for now.